Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you what I like to call a no-bake pina colada tart. So easy and so simple, but it is perfect for summer because obviously you're not baking anything, so you don't have to turn your oven on, which is so nice, especially when it's 95 degrees outside. And also, you know, the pina colada, I think it's like very tropical, it's very summery, so I like to just sort of incorporate those flavors into a dessert, and it always goes down so well. And this recipe is beyond easy, perfect for the weekend. So let me take you over them, and that way we can get started because it's really easy and really simple. Okay, for the filling, you're going to need some cream cheese that's been softened at room temperature. You need some confectioner sugar. What I have here is a can of pineapple that I just drained. I don't like the super shredded stuff, so I just like to take the chunks and just smash them up with my fork. I like the texture better. Some heavy cream, and then you're gonna need some unsalted butter that's been softened or partially melted with some crushed graham cracker crumbs and some sugar. That really is it. Now for the topping, which is gonna come in a little bit, that's where the coconut comes in, but you don't need that right now. So let's get started. I'm not gonna use any machinery. I'm gonna use these guns. Upper body workout this morning. I feel pretty good about myself. Okay, so to make the crust, it's super simple. You mix together your graham cracker crumbs and your sugar, and you add in your butter, and then just work it with your spatula just until the mixture resembles like coarse sand. You can do this in a food processor if you want to, but you know, I'm gonna make the filling in the same bowl anyway. Minimal cleanup, make it easy, keep it simple, because like I said, it's hot, it's summertime. I don't want to spend too much time by the sink washing stuff. So I'm just going to do this by hand. It'll take just a couple of minutes. That's the perfect consistency. See, when you pinch it together, it kind of holds. Kind of like when you were making sandcastles when you were a kid. That's what you're looking for. And I'm going to throw that into a 9-inch tart pan with a removable bottom. And I also do think that when you buy nonstick, when you use nonstick baking dishes and things like that, everything just comes out a lot easier, but you can also just spray it with some nonstick spray. I don't always find it necessary for something like this because there's so much butter in the crust, so it comes out easily anyway because this has to set for a while. And then I just like to use my hands to just really press it in. All right, that looks good. Don't panic if it's not perfect because remember, it's gonna set for a while, so you're good to go. All right, in the same bowl, add your cream cheese. You can use a wooden spoon or a spatula just to break it up a little bit and just to soften it before we add everything else. And you can do this in a standing mixer if you want to. Just make sure you fit it with a paddle attachment, but you're just loosening it up. I like to start with a wooden spoon and then I switch to my spatula just because, you know, I don't know. I have absolutely no reason for that. I just do. Sometimes it's easier. All right, this looks good. Now to it, you add everything else. Your sugar, your pineapple, and like I said, I like the kind that's like in chunks. That way you can break them up a little tiny bit, but you still have those chunky pieces. I don't like when it's super shredded, because if you do that, I don't taste any in my mouth. Like I don't have a chunk of pineapple. And if I want something that gives me that pina colada flavor, like I want a chunk of pineapple. You know what I'm saying? And then your heavy cream just to get everything moving and grooving. And then you just mix and mix and mix until everything is smooth and well combined. And look, you see how many pineapple chunks are in there? That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Just spread your mixture in your tart pan. I just love that I can see pineapple running through it. It makes me happy. It makes me feel like everyone's gonna get a piece of pineapple or plenty, and it's gonna be fabulous. Now at this point, I'm gonna lightly cover this with some plastic wrap and I'm gonna pop it in the fridge overnight. You wanna keep it in the fridge for a minimum of about 4 to 6 hours, but really I think when you do it the night before and you unveil it the next day, it just takes away the stress of wondering whether or not it's perfectly set. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. It'll be perfect for tomorrow after lunch. And I'll show you what we're gonna do next because at that point, we are gonna need to top it. My tart was in the fridge overnight. Don't mind the little piece of crumb that's breaking off there. I break everything, okay? It is what it is. It'll be covered by whipped cream. No one will know. Okay, so the additional ingredients you're gonna need are not very many, but all together make for a great, great tart. You'll need some shredded coconut. Most of the time, I tell you I like it toasted. In this case, I do not. So I've got some shredded coconuts. I have got some maraschino cherries, pitted of course. I leave the stems on, but you can remove them if you want to. Powdered sugar, coconut extract, and you're going to need some heavy whipping cream. That's it. If you can't tell, I've been snacking on the shredded coconut. That's why it's like I'm still chewing. Okay, so we need to go ahead and whip up our cream, our whipped cream. So in this large bowl, I'm going to add my confectioner sugar, my heavy cream, and my coconut extract. Now, normally when I add vanilla, you know I don't measure. I just kind of like lug, whatever. The recipe says 1 teaspoon. Laura adds in 4. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference. But when it comes to almond, coconut, lemon, mint, any other extract besides vanilla, you have to measure because they're really, really strong and you don't want to overdo it. I always start with a half a teaspoon because I can work my way up. But if I start too high, then I can't knock it back down. So I'm going to start with a half a teaspoon, which I think is going to be plenty. And now with my handheld whisk, I'm just going to whisk this up until it's nice and stiff peaks. Perfect. You want to have like stiff peaks so that it holds together, but you don't want to take it so far that your cream turns into butter. So now you take this. I've also tasted this. It's plenty coconutty. So I'm not going to add any more in. But if you want it stronger, you can. But I'm telling you, half a teaspoon is perfect for this amount. And then you just add your whipped cream on top. And it looks like it's not going to be a huge mound of whipped cream, but it's just going to be a nice thin layer because really you're not needing any more richness here, okay? You're just doing it, you know, you're adding the whipped cream with that extra layer of flavor and creaminess because although the cheesecakey filling is creamy, it's also dense. And now the fresh whipped cream, it's light, it's smooth, it's velvety, it's fabulous. Okay. I'm all about that. Okay, now, like I said before, normally I like my coconut toasted, but in this case, I really think it adds like really nice texture. And I don't know, I just really prefer it untoasted, but if you want to toast it, you certainly can do that. I just think it works a lot better without it being toasted. And I also think that this way, it almost becomes a part of the filling as you eat it. So you've got that perfect balance of pieces of pineapple, coconut flavor from the cream, and then the shreds of coconut for texture. So it's perfect. I'm gonna add, you can add as much or as little as you want. I want every single bite to have coconut on top. So I'm just gonna take my time, and if something spills over the plate, oh well, you're cleaning it. And then, well, because no island life is ever right without a maraschino cherry or an umbrella. I don't have the umbrella in this case, but I do have maraschino cherries. You need to add some in. You can do whatever pattern you like. I kind of just go all around my cherries. It's as fancy as it gets around here, folks. I do not have the gift for decorating, but how sweet is that? Pun intended. And how beautiful does that look? I cut myself out a piece and I used the piece that I mangled the crust a little so no one would notice. But look, I want you to see how the filling stays together. Nothing's oozing out all over the place. It's set, it's good to go, and you have my permission to dig in. Like right now. I'm gonna go for it. I'm really thrilled. I know it's a little bit too tone on tone, but it works. It's yummy. Why you gotta judge it like that? Oh my word. See, it's times like these where I'd want to slap myself because this is so phenomenal. I want to have it on my dinner table every single night. My hips wouldn't trust it, but you know, it is what it is. It is phenomenal. It's easy. It's simple, but I promise you, you will love it. The coconut comes through, the chunks of pineapple come through, but yet it's creamy, it's mellow, and everything is just the right amount so nothing is overpowering or tastes like artificial or anything. Money. If you're having a bake sale or something, you should probably make this because you would win Nobel Prize. That's all. Go to Laura in the Kitchen. You can see I'm excited. Go to LauraInTheKitchen.com to get the written recipe. I really hope that you make this weekend and you post a picture on social media somewhere so I can see it, so I can drool, so I can be mad that I don't have it, because we're friends like that. Hope you enjoy spending time with me. Here, I'll give you a bite. I'll see you next time. Come on. There's a very small possibility that some of this isn't going to make it to the fridge. So if the filling tomorrow is really, really thin, you sew nothing. You know nothing. Got it?